Hey, what's up? Arky here again. I really didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways. I did it for you guys. I leveled my Shaman up to 90 on the beta server. To be honest, it wasn't as bad as it sounds. The game's really polished and it really does seem pretty fun until you hit level 90. At level 90, I hit a brick wall. No, literally, I hit a brick wall. Well, actually, I'll just come back to that later. But yeah, as I was leveling, I did learn a few things and I thought it was an excellent occasion for a MoP leveling guide. So here are some pro tips that will make you level a lot faster by not making the same mistakes that I made. Well, first, before the X-Pack actually goes live, well, you can definitely prepare a few things, like clean up your bags. You're going to need a ridiculous amount of space. You can also get all the glyphs. It's always handy to have them when you need them. You can also get mods that will quickly help you vendor great items like Cellomatic and Loot Filter. You can also create a low-level alt, and as you're leveling, you can mail all your random loot to him instead of vendoring it. You can then take the time to sort it and auction it. Once you hit level 90, your alt doesn't really have a mailbox size limit, so you can really mail everything to him. Now for the actual leveling part, well, first, if you're an engineer, make sure you have rocket boots and parachute cloak. I promise you, they will save you so many times. And try to keep both your belt and your cloak all the way up to level 90. These two enchants are worth way more than any other loot you'll find. If you're on a PvP server, until level 88, don't even worry about gear upgrades. Resilience and PvP power on Cataclysmic gear is way more important than any other stat. A level 86 tune in full Cataclysmic PvP gear can easily take on level 89 or even 90 without PvP armor. But once you're at level 88, start looking for gear upgrades. Mobs get a lot stronger and you need full item level 400 plus for level 89 content. If you're planning on using a cunning trinket, well, don't do it, because when it procs, it also pulls additional nearby mobs. It's not a problem at first, but fighting multiple mobs at level 89 is actually really hard, so get a good PvE trinket, but not the cunning one. Any trinket you'll find in DS is better than quest trinkets, so you'll use them all the way up to level 90. Now let's put gear aside for a second. If you remember, with the recent changes to CC spells, you can now CC a mob without actually pulling him. So remember, you can do this for quests. You can hex a mob and then go loot the thing right next to him. It comes in really handy, so do it whenever hex is off cooldown. About glyphs, well, for minor glyphs, get glyph of Ghost Wolf Water Walking, which is really useful. You'll actually use it, trust me. And for major glyphs, get Freedom Wolf, which will help you when getting ganked. Get Unleashed Lightning, which is pretty much mandatory. And for the last slot, well, I've tried a bunch, and I'd say use Telluric Currents for level 85 to 87. Around level 87, your mana pool is already at 200k, so your mana returns are really high. So go ahead and switch to Flame Shock or something. And the new totem system is kind of confusing at first. Just remember, all the good totems are air totems, so you can't overlap them. So Grounding, Stormlash, and Capacitor totem. When you're getting ganked, you kind of want to have all three down at once, but just make sure you only drop one at a time. Speaking of getting ganked, well, when it happens, the first thing you want to check is the terrain around you, and look for a good thunderstorm cliff. It'll save you so much in world PvP. It's so game changing. I actually had a lot of fun ganking people while leveling. But remember, you don't always have to kill your fellow hordes. You can actually make friends with them and complete your quest faster. If you have that good old reflex of dropping your totem set every time you pull a mob, well, forget about it. Totems are dropped one at a time now. The only totem worth spamming brainlessly every time it comes off cooldown is Healing Stream Totem from level 85 to 89. So replace whatever totem set keybind you have with Healing Stream Totem. Once you're at level 88, like I said, look for gear upgrades and remember to look for a lot of Spirit because your hit rating will drop. So yeah, you want to stay hit capped or else you're going to miss and it's going to be really annoying. From my experience, the last two zones are a lot harder. So I'd recommend clearing the quest in the level 87 plus zone completely, which is called Kunlei Summit. By doing that, you will be able to hit level 90 before you even step into the Dread Waste, which is the hardest zone. Unless you're a Blood Decay, of course. About your spec, well, this is the spec I used, and let me explain the general idea behind it. Well, Nature's Guardian for the first talent. While leveling, you're only really going to die when you're not paying attention, so you want something that'll automatically activate when needed. So that's why I picked Nature's Guardian, because you're not really going to need Astral Shift. Second tier, I got Earth Grab. It's actually the best one, just take it. Third tier, same thing, just get it. Fourth tier, you can pretty much pick whichever you want, but to be honest, the 5% haste from Astral Swiftness is actually really nice. That's why I picked it. Fourth tier, do not underestimate Conductivity. It's actually the best one for leveling. It has the highest uptime and the highest healing output. You just drop it, it's always up, and it does so much healing. It's actually really good. Get it? That's like the most mandatory talent out of all the talent. You can also use conductivity for AoE pulling, and the AoE loot system really makes it smooth, so it works out pretty well until level 89. At level 89, mobs get a lot stronger and you really have to single target, but the talent is still really good even for single target. And chain lightning just gets really expensive at level 89 and 90. Even on 3 targets, you don't have enough mana returns. You'll eventually go just by spamming it before the mobs even die. And then I hit level 90. Well, when I hit level 90, I was kind of lost at first. It took me like over an hour to figure out everything. So yeah, the game is still like being tuned for level 90. Nothing is really like polished at the moment, but I can tell you that some stuff about Shamans are pretty OP. Like Purge is really cheap and really OP with the Glyph. Don't tell Blizzard, it's actually really OP. CL is really expensive, super nerfed. You can barely ever use it. You might want to replace that keybind actually. And the stab budget on gear is super high. You can get like 50% mastery and 20% haste all together. It's actually ridiculous, like nothing we've ever seen. But yeah, stay tuned. Next video is going to be about the possible level 90 specs. I'll be showing some new spells, some big numbers, some big crits. So thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more, and peace out.